Ani Osabute was in court, and he joins me in the studio right now to talk about the court process. Good evening to you, Ani.
Good evening, Israel.
So, I know you've been following the story for a while now. What was it like in court when you first saw him?
Well, you know, my memories of Martin essentially have been like newspapers of him, knowing him. So, initially when I saw him, I didn't know who he was actually. I was sitting with a lady, you know. So when then the conversation started, and I took a closer look at him, and I realized he was the one. But those who knew him back then in Parliament said he used to be slightly bigger than what his current condition is now. He looks very smallish, very like almost like someone in his 20s of a sort. But you know, it tells you that 10 years in prison has kind of had a toll
taking a toll on
exactly.
him. So what exactly are the charges that have been talked about? Exactly. So illegal possession of documents.
Exactly. And according
forged documents.
Forged documents. And according to them, that particular document or passport was obtained in February somewhere 2009. And as of the time, Mr. Martin was still in prison. And even if you have to go through the passport acquisition, your thumbprint is needed. So how come he got that? And then the information I also picked up was the fact that according to them, the bio section of the passport itself had been substituted with his details, which ought to have been that of one Barbara Inkum, who was supposed to be the applicant of that particular passport, which Mr. Martin is said to have traveled to Ghana with. So that is essentially what he was being charged with. But today in court, interestingly, you know, the state said they didn't want to violate his right, especially because they were more than 48 hours, you are violating his human right. Therefore, they went to the court hoping that the court would grant them the remand request so that will keep him while investigations also continue. But I just made it clear that they ought to have come prepared, because I mean, you hold the guys up, you don't have enough information, you want to keep him, and essentially too, they don't want to really use the court as a tool to punish him. It's at 10 years already. He comes home and you hold him on this charge. So based on that, his lawyers also argue that even the offense on which they are charging him with is bailable. Again, you know, his guilt has not been established, so why do you keep him? And they made argument that, look, this is a responsible guy. Yes, he's falling foul of the law somewhere else in America, but the responsible guy, and therefore, if you grant him bail, he will make himself available to the court.
Okay. All right, so what exactly, apart from 200,000 Ghana cedis bail that they granted him, I'm told he's supposed to meet certain conditions. What are these conditions?
Precisely. There are three sureties, and the three sureties, I must say that one ought to be justified. He has to deposit the passport under question here to the registrar of the court, and also the other point is also that he's supposed to report to the police twice a week. So it goes there on Mondays and then Fridays. So these are the conditions. And as of the time we're coming on air, we're speaking to the son, and the son said, you know, they are determined to go all out to ensure the innocence of his father. And with respect to the bail conditions, he was prepared that, you know, they will meet them. So as we speak right now, I just want to believe that from our own checks, you know, Martin is relaxing at home.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ani Osabute. You know, Ani Osabute was in court earlier today where Eric Amwating, the former Nkranza North MP, was presented in court.